As many of you know, I went to Korea this summer for a possible English teaching job, but I was quickly shot down because of my citizenship status. So, here's the deal. I am an American-born citizen, but because of a Korean law in 1988, if two parents who used to have citizenship in Korea bear a child, that's me, I am then technically property of Korea, which means I would need to attend either 2 years in the military and then get my US citizenship completely revoked, or get deported after about 3 months and then not know how long I have to wait before I can come back into Korea again. So knowing all of this, I decided I need to do some soul searching and become inspired again. Because sadly, I was in a slump. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, or I didn't even know where to start. Upset and a little bitter, I talked with my uncle while I was in Korea, and he set me up with this little trip to Japan to just go and travel and experience life and make new friends. Little did I know what I was in for. So this was my first time in Japan, and I had no idea what to expect. Luckily, my good friend was able to house me for about a week while I adventured around Japan. Like Korea, the city was bustling with busy people. The first thing I noticed was how clean everything was and how nice everyone was as well. Like literally, all I heard in Japan was "sumimasen," which means sorry, but it also has other meanings such as excuse me, you can call over the waitress or waiter. But I'm no expert in Japanese, but this word is very useful in a lot of situations apparently. Anywho, the streets were always so packed, and it was very exciting to see so many people moving around in one place, as weird as that sounds. As if it's exciting to see many people walking around. But for me, I guess it symbolized meaning and want. You know, these people are all trying to get by in this concrete jungle, and many looked very stressed, but others looked content and happy. And the more I walked with these people, the more I felt inclined to get my life rolling and my ball rolling and giving my life some more meaning. You see, I didn't plan on vacationing or having a lot of fun during this trip. My main goal was to find something, a spark let's say, just to get the fire started. And I can say I definitely found that spark while I traveled around Japan. And it didn't really come to me in an epiphany just in one day, like it was a process and it took a while to understand and build this passion inside of me. And this is just one of the many shrines I visited while I was in Japan, and it completely captured my attention because of just how beautiful and majestic it all looked. It was absolutely just inspirational, and this is only the beginning. More and more, as I visited around Japan, all this inspiration and all this passion started pouring into my mind. The shrines and all the sightseeing was very inspiring, but I think the most inspiring thing were the people. If it wasn't for meeting the new friends and seeing their passions, I would have never learned anything at all. For example, these guys, these bartenders, they compete in competitions, bartending competitions. I didn't even know such a thing even existed, but it was absolutely amazing to see them do all kinds of crazy tricks, blow fire and whatnot. I mean, just take a look for yourself. I mean, look at these guys. They love what they're doing and they're very passionate about it, and it was just so incredible to watch. Like, these guys were so amazing, and this is the first time I've seen anything like this. I've seen some things maybe on YouTube here and there, but to see it actually live, it was pretty cool. It was a really cool thing to see. Especially the part where the guy blows fire. Oh my goodness, that part was actually dangerous. And it's kind of funny. I cut it off a little early, but in the video, actually at the bar, he caught on fire. The guy, like, his hand was like on fire, and it was crazy. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, I usually don't make this mistake," but he did. And yeah, I mean, he was okay. Like, he just got a few minor burns. He washed it off pretty quickly, but it was pretty hilarious. And you know, we're all just kind of laughing, even though he almost burned to death. But whatever, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. So yeah, this is pretty much my time in Tokyo. I just met a lot of new people, made some new friends, and it really was all thanks to my buddy Josh. He kind of really hooked it up for me. Kind of hooked it up a lot. He gave me a home, a place to stay, and called home base for the time being. But I still had a long journey ahead of me. I was still heading to Osaka, then Kyoto, then Nara, all by myself. So I wouldn't have any friends. I wouldn't know anyone. I would just be kind of going into the dark by myself. But I had a lot of fun in Tokyo, and it was just so much fun. And it was great to see such a busy city. I think I thrive in a busy city-like environment, and I really enjoy that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I got to see it and be a part of it for a little bit, at least a week or two, and it was great. So right before I left to go to Osaka, I was reading the news reports, and apparently there's supposed to be a typhoon hitting Osaka, and I was not prepared at all. I remember my first day, I just kind of looked outside my hotel room, and I was just like, oh god, like, what am I supposed to do? What am I gonna do? So I made the best of the situation, and I went to the aquarium. So this was the Osaka Aquarium, which is known for being one of the best aquariums in all of Asia. Yeah, you heard that right. Not just Japan, but all of Asia. I didn't know this going in, and I was pretty astounded by the sheer size of the place. It was also next to this really big Ferris wheel, so easy to spot. When you're getting off the subway, you can just see it right there. I was also surprised with the line outside of the aquarium. I mean, this was in the middle of a freaking typhoon. Winds were blowing everywhere. My umbrella, as well as everyone else's umbrellas, were just turning inside out, and water was just getting everywhere. It looked like a freaking circus. But I managed to fumble out the cash in my pocket and finally get in. Speaking of aquariums, the pricing was pretty low. $23 for the Seattle Aquarium, $25 for the Seattle Aquarium, and I only paid $23 to get in, for maybe half of the content I saw, which is crazy. The Osaka Aquarium had so much stuff. It's ridiculous. So yeah, anyways, the aquarium was pretty rad. It had seals, manta rays, whale sharks, weird jellyfish I've never seen, turtles, and so many more strange things. I mean, I wish I could have gotten it all on tape, but honestly, I think I'd get bored if I was watching random sea animals floating around for more than 5 minutes. But let me just say, I thoroughly enjoyed this award-winning aquarium. It had everything an aquarium should have, and that's a lot of fish and weird tentacles, and I mean, like, there was some weird jellyfish. I just I can't get over it. Like, stuff I've never seen in my life, even in like the weird deep sea books that show you those strange jellyfish. Yeah, this stuff was just totally I blew my mind. I've never seen these kinds of things. But I mean, it had a lot of culture as well, and information on the regions of where the animals were from, as well as what they eat and etc. I mean, I thought it was a day pretty well spent during a crazy, insane typhoon where winds were blowing, and you saw, it looked like it was a scene out of one of those disaster movies where you see people holding onto their umbrellas, and then their umbrellas just fly out, and then there's just paper and wind and stuff flying around everywhere. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. But would you know it, like, as soon as I walked out of the aquarium, the rain and the typhoon, it literally passed as I was walking out. So this was a fun and just hilarious day, and I enjoyed it a lot. So the next day after the crazy typhoon, I decided, why not go to one of the bigger, like, shopping areas, and one of the better tourist areas. So this area is called Shinsai Baishi. It's known for being one of the main shopping areas of the city, and it's kind of near this place called Totombori, but we'll get there later. First of all, Shinsai Baishi, it's like 2 miles long. You have to walk all the way down. It's like this huge long hallway. You'll see it in the video. And it just goes on forever. Like, that's not even the full video. That's half of it, and it's sped up all the way. And you just keep walking. But it was pretty cool. I saw some cool stores. I walked in every now and then to interesting little shops here and there. The next place is Totombori, and this place, it feels like New York and kind of Venice got meshed up into one place. You see lights everywhere, and it's well known because it has this big bright sign that has a guy finishing a race. He's like crossing the finish line. He's part of this company called Glico, and he's apparently the mascot of that company, and that's the reason why a lot of people come here and take pictures with him, and You'll see pictures of people putting their hands up and being like, yeah, you know, we made it. I don't know why, but it's cool, and it's you know, the culture, and it was just so cool soaking it in and seeing these lights and just seeing all the people just full of energy. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a really cool place to just hang out, because there were just these beautiful lanterns lighting up all the way throughout the canal, and I just thought it was so cool. I just can't get over it, and I wish I could have stayed there longer and hung out the longer, but you know, time was limited. I only had a couple more days left in Japan, or in Osaka at least. Osaka. But it was an awesome experience, and I'm glad I came at night. I think it looks a lot better at night than it does during the day. So this was a fun day. I just kind of looked around, ate some good food, and did a little bit of shopping. It was a good time. You'll see now I'm walking again. This is another video of Shinsai Baishi. Just towards the end, I'm just continuing to walk through. This place was just absolutely massive, and they had a lot of good food, and I ate so much ramen, just ramen all day. So for my last day, I went to the Osaka-jo Castle. This is probably one of the biggest tourist spots in all of Osaka, and actually probably in Japan too. I mean, this castle apparently had a major role in the unification of Japan during the 16th century. But honestly, I didn't do a lot of reading in the castle. It was more like a museum actually. You kind of walk inside these huge steps, and then you just see all these cool like samurai armor and like little figurines you'll see in the video, but a lot of times you actually couldn't take videos or pictures, so I mean that's why there's like so few images. And basically you just climb to the very top. It has like six stories, if I remember correctly, about 6 stories, and I remember being at the top and you could just see throughout all of Osaka, and it was absolutely beautiful. So this was my last day, and I was happy to finally come here and to see it all sunny and nice after the typhoon had passed. So I'm glad. This was a great day, and yeah, this was my last day in Osaka. Kyoto is the next destination. So Kyoto was my final stop. Although I did make a short day trip to Nara on my last day, I have to say the capital was just so enchanting. Luckily, I didn't need to search for my hotel because it was just right underneath this huge tower. In the clip, you'll see me pan through the city from the top of the Kyoto Tower Hotel, which is where I was. The city is so rich in history, culture, and just everything. There's also this saying in Kyoto that goes, wear a kimono till you drop. So it was just spectacular and so refreshing to see people wanting to preserve this culture and their roots, and they just want to keep it so traditional. I really respect that. I respected that a lot. I mean, the places I visited were so well kept. They did such a good job just maintaining everything, and the Kinkankuji Temple, or the Temple of the Golden Pavilion, looked absolutely flawless, especially while the sun was setting in the background. I mean, that was just an added bonus. There were shrines, of course, gongs, and people smelling incense. It was really awe-inspiring to see. And the next area I went to was Ryoanji, but it was mostly closed when I arrived, so I was only able to walk around the lake, and you know, it wasn't much, but I really did enjoy the view. So there wasn't really much to see at this place, but I think I enjoyed the serenity that came over me, and it was just extremely peaceful. I don't think there's many places like this in the world that can make someone feel this way, you know. And as cheesy as that sounds, I felt like, you know, I was kind of in like the Zen state of mind, soaking in all the good and peaceful vibes with the lake and seeing the animals floating around in the water. It was just a picture-perfect sort of day, filled with inspiring thoughts and just freedom. Nara, Japan was probably one of my most favorite spots in Japan. I think it was the most amazing place ever, just because of the deer. Like, just strictly because of the Silka deer. There were a lot of great, amazing cultural buildings and history that date back thousands of years, and that was all amazing, but I'm a very simple man, and these deer were just so adorable. I couldn't help but like pet them, hang out with them. You could even feed them crackers, but those crackers were actually like way overpriced, so I didn't really buy any. I just kind of picked off some of the crumbs off the ground and I would just feed it to them. But it was just so, I remember it being so hot that day, so a lot of these deer were just sitting around being very quiet, and they looked very tired. But yeah, aside from the deer, like it was really cool again to see people keeping up with their traditions. They were just doing their prayers to Buddha. It's another Buddhist temple. This area, of course, is like all Buddha related, so there's a lot of bowing going on. And oh, another thing I forgot to mention about these deer, they bow once you give them food. So you'll give them food, and then they'll do this cool like bow. They'll kind of like bob their head, and I think they've been trained to do that. Like after so many years of people coming and I guess feeding these deers have learned to bow, and it's cool. It's actually really cool. I've never seen, like, there's probably no place on the earth where deer are so friendly, because most times it's like a basic instinct for them to be afraid of humans, so it's more likely that they'll run away. But here they'll come to you, like they'll walk up to you expecting you to give them food. So it's completely different over here. But again, like it was really cool to see just really old architecture, stuff that's been here for thousands of years. And again, the Japanese do such a great job of maintaining it and keeping it well. And this place was just packed. It was very busy the day I came, and I don't know, it's just there's just so much to see, so much to soak in. I couldn't help but imagine, I don't know, just not traveling a lot. Like I now have this passion. Like I really want to just travel more and just see more things. I mean, the stuff I saw here was just absolutely incredible. Like for example, this temple that you're seeing right now, it's probably one of the biggest wooden structures in the whole world, and it had like these 3 huge Buddha statues, these Buddha structures there, and it was just amazing. It was amazing. It was mind-blowing how big it was and how well kept it is. And you'll see people kind of like these kids, they go underneath this pillar, and I'm not sure what it's supposed to symbolize, but I think it's supposed to be good luck, and that you'll get like blessings or something. But there was this huge line for it, and people were doing it. The next place I went to was this is still Nara, but it's like another part of Nara, and it's another temple, a shrine in this area. And I mean, this park was huge. Nara Park was just absolutely huge. It was massive, and it took me a while to walk around the whole place, but I did it eventually. And this was, I think, at the very end of the park, kind of like near the outskirts, and you can kind of see out into the park. Oh, and here are the cool shrines, of course, or the lanterns. I mean, there's lanterns everywhere at this one particular shrine, and I'm not quite sure of the significance, but it was amazing. It was just the most amazing trip, and I really couldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for my uncle. And I really want to do like a special thanks to my uncle and for his wife as well, for like mentoring me and helping me go on this trip to Japan at all. Like thank you so much, and also for Josh, my good buddy from elementary. We went to high school together. We went we went to the same school pretty much for like several years. And he housed me, gave me a place to sleep in Japan, so thanks, man, for that. Like, I really appreciate you. And I really want to thank my family and my friends. That really helped me out a lot. That you guys, like, I don't thank you enough, and I just wanted to thank you for giving me a hope again, I guess. I'm not sure like what I want to do, and now I think I'm kind of understanding my passions and what I really want. So I just want to thank you and thank everyone for this great trip. Part 2 is going to be coming out soon, and it's going to be about our adventures in Korea with my buddies. Thank you.